Welcome back. It's MDawg, another episode here on our leveling series. And I just noticed something here at Winding. We've got one of these crazy good Bleak orders. Let's just see if we can perhaps accomplish that rather quickly. Caster might be the way to go. Let's see if they're active in this spot. We know they were active farther down where we were fishing yesterday. Probably could get it down there pretty easily, but even if just the small ones are active here, this would be another spot we could get it really quick. And then I think we're going to go to Mosquito and see what we can get into there. I really want to check the cafe order at Mosquito, I guess, before we decide for sure where we're going to fish. Such a good bite rate at that other place that it's not worth it to stand here. Is that a Bleak? All right, that was a Bleak. I guess let me just cast it right back to this spot for a second. I'm trying to find the spot. It was 106, 124, it looks like. So we can run down there if we need to. I mean, 20 quicksilver like that, it would be worth it. All right, let's run down. We need... Is there anything else we were still trying to do? Oh yeah, the Ide. It's not going to be time for an Ide probably. We still need to get Blue Bream and Nace. What is that, stage 7? 7-1? Where was the spot for Nace? There's so many. Nace are kind of just all over. But I'm curious what this guide... And we look at Blunty's guide, see what the recommendation was. All right, this one was saying, oh yeah, over there in camp. So this was a large size 6 hook with bark beetle larva, 160, so pretty deep. I do have my rods in at Sura. I guess I can show that real quick. If you watched the last episode, you'll know a little bit about what we're doing here. I think if we don't, I don't know, if it's not a better bite rate today, I'm probably going to just back off and wait till the next silver carp spotting comes in. Because over the last couple days, 3-4 days, I feel like it's just become a worse and worse bite rate. So unless that changes today, I'll probably stop putting so much effort into this on my main account. Go back to grinding for that impossible Donut's rough at Winding, I guess. Okay. So I guess what I was thinking is that why don't we just, while we're fishing for Bleak, let's just see if we can find the Nace as well. If it happens to be in this same spot. I don't know if it will. Bark beetle larva, size 6 hook at, what was it, 160 depth. This might not be, that might be too deep for this spot, but we'll see. $106, $124. So we'll just chill here. We're just gonna have some fun fishing. Not necessarily any particular goals, although I was gonna go check out. That's right. This is the one where it was like not clear where we were supposed to be. Okay, so if we put the, oh, it's already at 160. This is beautiful. All right, let's just see what happens. Now we know, oh, that works. Okay. We know that this will be a pretty good bite rate if it's like it was yesterday. And we'll just switch to the other one if we need to. Somebody just caught a trophy Bleak in this area as we speak. Ooh. It's so funny, like instead of instead of just pulling up, I kind of panicked there and picked up the wrong rod. This Bleak bite is so good. All right, what size line do we have on? Yeah, we've got the micro line. That's one thing I need to be careful of. I probably ought to take it off every time so that I don't forget that that's the line we're using on this. All right, that was an eyed. How weird is that, huh? All right, this is going to be a disaster. Trying to do all of this at the same time. All right. Let me get this silver carp in really quick. Oh, I think it went down. Just trying to find out if the Nace are here at our... Okay, they are here. Okay, so it's at least possible. That is another silver carp, by the way. But it was small. All right, so it is possible. You're saying there's a chance. Nace. Uh-oh. Well, we got it. So many Bleak. I love it. Wow. Feisty. All right. We probably already have enough for the order, but it's going pretty good. Let's give it a few more minutes, just see what we can catch here. That is very strange. Yeah, let's just reset that. There we go. We don't mind seeing some of those small ones just because the cafe order is for small ones. All right, let's don't go as far this time. It's a big leap. Had a nibble, but it went away. All right, let's see if we can get a little bite here. Give it another minute. Be the fish, be the fish. I'm not saying it'll still work, but I think I caught mine over here somewhere. Back on my main account. Oh, this is that situation where if we don't quite get it the full distance, it gets hung up on the bottom, but if you kind of get it past that point, it goes far enough. Alright, so we need to cast a little farther out this way, I think. Still not really going, is it? Maybe we go to 1.5 depth and see if that frees it up. All right, it's drifting with the current. Oh, this is what we found on the white bream too, isn't it? To get it to drift with the current, we kind of have to cast almost north. $120, huh? I mean, we are close to that. This has been I mean, we've given it a long time in this spot and not had a bite. So that's unusual, I would say. If it was going to work, let's just go try 120 before we give it up. I don't really know how far we're casting. Let's try this. Okay. So maybe we needed to do it more straight. Yeah, that's a weird situation. Let's try this. All right, still too shallow. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. This is the spot it recommended, but it doesn't seem to be working at all. Maybe a step down here. All right, now we're in business. Let's just see if we get any activity at all. So we saw one fish, I think it's getting a nibble. We saw one Nace in the first spot. In the Bleak spot. One random Nace. Does this have to be on telescopic? That's the other question. Nope, just float. We could throw the bolo setup in too. Yeah, I'm curious if there's any different ideas on this one. 120, 120, 1 meter redworm. All right, there's another nibble. Right? All right, so this makes me think 1 meter might be better. Even at 120, this might work better. Let's also try the bolo with, we'll just do 10. Let's just see if we can find it, right? I'm gonna just kind of cast it out there a little bit. Oops. And then same with this one. Let's just cast it out there. You know what? I need to... Oh, it's already on full. Okay, good. Let's make sure it's... Make sure it doesn't get stuck over there. Oh! We got a bite. Oh, we got a bite on both. Oh, we at least caught this one. Alright, what is it? Interesting. So we're getting eyed. I wonder if we'll ever just randomly catch the size eyed we need. I mean, that was bad news, just pretty complicated there on how far away they were getting. Okay. It's not the best bite rate on either of these. But we're using pretty big hooks, like we're trying to hit the right one, not lots of them. Come on. Maybe we should just worry about this another time. All right. What would be sad is if that Bleak order has now rolled off. I didn't check the time. I've got to get in the habit of checking the times. You just never know. All right. And we have 5 non-markers. That is 20 silver. Such a good thing there. Okay. So 20 silver plus 15 more. I mean, 35 really quick silver. All right, let's go see what's going on at Mosquito. Just for fun here. One thing I wanted to check out, I guess I need to look and see. We still haven't done that common carp, right? Which we could do it on telescopic. Oh, I thought there was one about common carp. I guess we have caught a common carp. I guess I'm just remembering wrong. Well, supposedly there's a common carp spot that's working okay. That... All right, this goes up to 6. 4.8. Man, we need something a little better than that. Change this to classic hair. What does that do? We could get, oh yeah, we're using a really big 4.4. Is that the biggest? What if we go, first of all, well, let me look at all of our lines. Yeah, I said I was going to disassemble that. 5.2. We were going to put 6.8 on this one, because this is actually, this is the float rod we're going to try to catch. We're going to try to catch the carp on, if we can. It'll be interesting. All right, it's 40.4. So what are we saying we want to go to? Right at 6, and then we want a leader that gets us really close to 6 as well. Let me see what the leader options are first. We could do a carp leader, right? We can't make our own leader, and I assume that's a feeder leader. These are going to be sold out. We don't want to go 9.2 here. Is 6.4 too much? Yes. All right, well, what about... I really... just makes you want to go ahead and make the, I mean, go ahead and save up for the thing that lets you make leaders as soon as possible. All right, is 5 the most we can get without going over? It's just, it's so gross. All right, how much does it cost to make our own leaders? I know it's expensive, right? 386. Tell you, life gets so much simpler when you can make your own leaders. All right, so we're going to 5, which means we want to go to just something right over 5, like 5.2. Sure, why not? Although we ought to go heavy. I mean, we ought to go, we're asking for trouble. We ought to go get one of these. How close to 5 can we get? Right at 5. Yeah, we should just do this. I know it's 34 silver, but we'll actually be able to get in. If we happen to hook into a big carp, we'll be able to get it in. I think that's what we do. All right, classic hair rig. We've got the big line on there. We keep 200 meters of line. We should be able to chase it down. Decent size hook. Now, what are the biggest boilies we have. That caramel and soluble 16. What if we just go... There are pellets. So we get 18 and 15. I'm just gonna try it. I think there's a dip too. It's just expensive. The dip is expensive. I'm not sure. Sweet corn. I don't really want to pay that much for dip right now. All right, so corn. We're actually going pellets and sinking. Okay, corn, corn. Oops. I do feel like we need to put a dip on there. So we're going to dip it in cream and hope for the best. Okay. And then this is going to be a clip 20. We'll probably end up changing that to like a natural bait. But I just want to try this. Did we look at the cafe? I don't think we have yet. All right, interesting cafe orders. So Gibble and Crucian are pretty easy in our spot. That's only 8 fish for 15 silver. Rough. I know there's been some rough spots lately. We could find that. Same with Roach. I actually know of a good Roach spot right now. We might even be able to go for this one. But that's pretty much it. All right. So we're headed over to 71, 78. Before it's nighttime. There was a rough order, right? Did I see that right? So the thing about Mosquito, like we're trying these boilies just for fun, but what would probably be work better is to put potatoes or corn on there. Actually natural bait instead of trying to get fancy with the... All right, looks like it's just over the lilies, which would be like, yeah, just straight over here, 20 meter. All right, let's just get it in and see if anything happens. And then for this, with the potatoes, I guess just we'll leave it at 1. Let's just see how far we can get it out there. I thought it might be too heavy, but it looks like it's going to work. And then... what's the strongest we can do? 4.6. Get away with 4.8. Just not let it go too heavy. We'll put large 4. We'll do regular corn. We're just asking for all kinds of trouble. I just wanted to try this. Just see how it goes. All right, I just have to remember if we allow our friction brake to get too high, the line is too heavy, so potentially we end up breaking something. Just the line's a little too heavy. So especially on this cheap gear, we just got to be a little bit careful. All right, so we'll try this. If this doesn't work over here, you know, the challenge we're trying to do really is on this rod with the strong 6.8 line, we need to catch a fish that's at least 2 kilo. Oh, catch a bream. Yeah, that's the other thing. If we just did bream, we get both of those done at the same time. So we just don't have cottage cheese dough, so I don't know how feasible that is, but it might be. It might be feasible. I don't know. Let's just see if this works at all. If not, there is a rough spot that we tried. Didn't we do it the other day and it worked super well, right? So we could quickly get that rough order at night. And then maybe go catch a few crucian gibble. And then maybe roach during the day. I don't know. It depends on how long we want to go. We've pretty much missed roach time at this point, though. I don't know how far away from the ground we are, having our depth at one meter, but I think for carp, you probably do best if you do have it sort of on the ground. Well, I kind of feel silly going for common carp. I forgot that we also needed the bream here, so why not try to do both at the same time? I don't know, though. Where's the last known bream spot? It was way before the update, so still probably that 87, 87 over on the other side. And I don't know how active it still is. So neither of our feeder rods have a bite yet. That was pretty silly to spend silver on those boilies, but if you're into carp fishing, which I'm always into carp fishing, and we just don't have the gear for it yet, at some point you do have to just kind of start building up your bait options so you can experiment and try different things, but it is so expensive. You have to do it a little bit at a time, for sure. All right, we're just going to give this till probably about 2200, and then we'll go get the rough. Is there a premium one that has to do with carp? Oh. 3 kilo. That's what I was wondering why people were still targeting the common carp. It's because of premium. I got you. Four two. 87, 87. And, oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I was about to start packing up anyway. Okay. There's just no fast way of doing this. I'm going to do the travel way. Where are the rough? Oh, the rough are that same spot. We can actually do rough and try for bream at the same time. This is perfect. The common carp was not perfect. I'm not saying that that's a bad post on BK. I mean, I think if we would have been patient and really had the right setups in the water, like we probably should have just stuck with regular corn, regular potatoes, and stayed away from trying the float. I mean, that's not a float spot because it's 20 clip out. So we weren't getting anywhere near 20 clip on the float. All right, let me double check the time on this rough order. Plenty of time on the rough order. All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go walrus stick, feeder, feeder. And now we need to go all the way to 87, 87. So we're going for rough, rough, and then I'll just test, I don't know what bait to test, maybe pea porridge? We don't have cottage cheese dough. Well, something just... Oh, I don't remember the clip here. I think it was short though. Let's try 8. Oh, this is the one that we have too much line on, right? So we left one at Paternoster and one on basic bottom. And this is going to go, golly. Okay, give me a second because I'm probably going to find that size 10 hook again. And maybe try pea porridge. See if we can get a bream to bite. I mean, we have caught 3 silvers here. But they're all small so far. There's the 10. The 5. What did we say? 1.6, I think. Just get it out there a little bit. That's not a rough. Oh, wow. That is the first common carp I have caught in this Sura spot in many days of trying it now. So basic bottom is 2 for 2 on catching non-rough, and Paternoster is 2 for 2 on catching rough. Coincidence? 24, 3.1, 3.5, 24. All right, if pea porridge does not work, what other bait are we going to try? Garlic dough. Garlic dough, worm, castor, garlic dough, pearl barley. I don't know. All right, got our first rough on basic bottom. Size 10 hook, just trying to get bite rate so we can see what's what. At least on pea porridge, it's starting to look like they're not active at all. The problem with something like worm is it catches them kind of slow. So that's definitely not ideal, but that's a long time to wait without a bite. So let's try garlic dough. All right, Paternoster looks like is not 3 for 3. Oh, it's a big rough. It is 3 for 3. Wow. That's a big boy rough. We should probably come fish for rough more often if we could find a bait that might work on bream, so we can keep trying this one. Because this one could take a little while, at least till we get cottage cheese unlocked, or until another spot pops up. Man, we have caught 100% rough on that rig. It's like I'm not even seeing a nibble. So I'm going to switch baits again. I mean, you know, it's possible we're just not waiting long enough, but... Alright, we're trying pearl barley. I don't know, next I guess is worm. Or castor or something like that. I don't know. I think I've seen enough to say that Paternoster is doing really well, reigning supreme. All right, I'm gonna try something. I know this is going to, it's going to be a little controversial, but I just want to see if this is a problem of bait or if they're not active. You know, the other thing we could do is we actually could just send send some cottage cheese to this account and make it myself, but from this account. But I guess we won't, because we need to show like going to Corey and going through that whole process to get it. Oh, these rough are so nice. 119 gram rough. Wow. Okay, I am, who knows how long this little fella's been on here. I am making the change to Paternoster. Again, I wish we had 22 hook. Ooh. It's been so long, forgot what was going to happen when I was going to get a bite. Although the way that bite happened, it didn't look like a bream bite, and pearl barley just catches so many other fish too that it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't bream. Alright, so what I did is I sent myself 2 pieces of cottage cheese dough just so we could test it in this spot to try to determine, are the bream even still active here? Ooh, interesting. Somehow I set it down without closing the bail, which that's a little weird for me. This spot is so good. Alright, we'll give this another minute or two, a couple minutes, see if we find a bream. See if they're even active. I think there's been, because the bream can be in either spot, right? Yeah, the bream can be in either spot, but we would still have to catch something 2 kilo here at Mosquito. So it'd be nice to catch it here. But I've seen more active bream spots posted lately at Winding, actually, in the last couple days. I would love to know if that was a rough and what size it was. It did one of those things where it just fell off the hook. It's like the game never fully recognized it was on the hook. But all right, somebody's called a bream in chat. Now, they could be just a little slower. And if we had 3 rods in instead of just 1, you know, we'd see it every once in a while. But that's why I was thinking, if they are still here, if we think they're still here, we just need to come fish for rough more often. All right, same person caught a second one. Can't tell if that's just the up and down motion of the water, or is it starting to get a little nibble? Is 40 the lowest weight that's a marker? I think, yeah, it's got to be. 39 is not, 40 is. Realizing we are really close to level 15. Okay, here we go. That's a bream bite. That is a bream. It's very small. Is that a white bream? Oh, it's a chub. Huh. I was wrong. Not a bream bite. White bream. And it got his points in bottom fishing. We are now 40.9. Alright, so we've got a good bit bigger hook on there now. Last piece of cottage cheese dough. We'll give it another little bit here. See if we can't find it. Oh, that's right. White bream are slowly coming in here too. Gotta be bigger. Well, the chub are actually really liking that cottage cheese dough. Okay. I feel like that's only fair that I didn't catch a bream off of the cottage cheese dough that I sent to myself. But we did hit level 15. One level closer to Corey, I guess, although we still haven't been to Belaya or Old Berg. But for the cottage cheese dough, we'll need to go to Corey. Where was that roach spot? Oh, it's just down the line. Yeah, so we actually don't need to fast travel or anything. We just walk down the line. If we're going to skip Crucian Gibble time and go right into the roach spot, which we might do since we're still sitting here. I just feel like that pearl barley is going to catch a roach or something else like that. Ooh, been to Norway at least once. Level 21. We have so many rough. I love it. All these mid-level players that started playing or came in after Norway. Such a different experience leveling up using Norway. It's awesome though. Get you in the game a lot quicker, get you a lot more silver in a fast way. It's a Roach. It's interesting. Well, it's just too slow. I don't know if Pearl Barley would work at all. We never did try Worm. I guess we could try that really quick. Big hook, throw on a worm, see if Bream wants it. All right, cool. So I just put another a feeder in that could target Bream just to see. I mean, if you haven't fished for Bream before, the ideal way to fish for them is using feeder rods. This challenge is having you do a float rod, which is fine. You can catch them on float, but to get an idea of a spot, obviously it's just a better thing to start off on feeder. I think we switch at 7. Wait, is that bouncing? Yeah. It's not a Bream bite though. It's probably a Roach. A lot of little chub in this spot, seems like. Okay. So, we are going to be fishing for Roach. I think we start off with smaller than you think. Hooks. Alright, so we're going, where did I say? 6786. It looks like we aim just over some, just to the right of some bushes or something. It actually looks like something like this. It's kind of weird. All right, let's just see what we've got here. I got to decide what we're going to put on our first line. The post that I saw had caddisfly on all three and really small hooks, and they were catching a lot of roach. A lot of the roach were small, but they were definitely catching a lot of roach. I wouldn't mind focusing on a little bit larger on average size, but again, until we get to know the spot a little bit, maybe it makes sense to check it out. We don't have a reel for this, do we? Because of the bolo rods. We need to just get an extra reel. These reels are so cheap. Like, it's not worth spending a single second going back and forth. All right, 7. I am pretty sure we've got a fish on at least one line. Maybe not. Yeah, they were using 22 hooks. Trying to see like what was their largest size call. They had some up around 700 grams, but that was definitely the exception. So a lot of small roach, and I just don't know that I'm up for a ton of small roach. If you're not catching good size roach, for me it's probably not worth it. So we'll just give it a couple minutes, see how it looks. That's interesting. That was a little roach. He just wasn't sure if he wanted to come in or not. Well, so far it looks like caddisfly really might be the way to go. I threw bloodworms in mostly because we do have that 7 species on bloodworm. I don't know what the... Oh. I'll tell you what the last one probably should be. It's probably... Bleak. No idea if this is a good bleak spot, by the way. Alright. Switching this to caddisfly. Did I mess it up? It wasn't a bleak anyway, so I'm kind of okay. That was just a roach bite, but I didn't mean to mess it up. Oh, shoot. That could be a bleak spot. Alright. I gotta pay attention. These roach just kind of hang out on the line. Ooh. So this is a dangerous spot here. We're using a really small hook and all, but it just takes one like bigger roach is gonna snap that 1.5 kilo line. By the way, this officially does feel like a pretty good roach spot to me. Alright, there we go. There it is. Boom! Stage 2 completed. Love it. Got a gift bag and everything. Don't even need your bleak spot. Just kidding. Alright. Okay. Just fully embrace it here. All right, maybe we should try that 6786. He's probably got flies though. Unfortunately. So it may be a really good bleak spot, but we can't get flies at this level without cheating. Too bad. Zone flies. Stock problems. Yeah, we have actually caught a lot of roach in a small amount of time. And because I'm using a little bigger hooks than the poster was, on average we're getting larger roach as well. But it's still like a decent bite rate, I'd say. There might be baits we could use that would be even better, but this caddisfly does seem to be really good bite rate. They just love to take the bait. All right, 1, 2. So really just 2 in the bigger size, and as we get a little later in the day, we're going to see less and less that size. Might see a few more later, but we probably won't be on that long. What are we at time-wise? Oh yeah, once again, we're way over the hour mark. Still pretty good size. All right. Do we get... float spot for rough? I mean, any bottom spot for rough, you can probably catch them okay on float, because they're usually small clips and all that. I just think it's almost always a much better bite rate on feeder, on bottom setups versus float, but you can do it on float. It's not like rough are impossible to catch on float. Just make sure you're fishing off the bottom, because that's where the rough are typically hanging out. Okay, let's see how many cafe orders we're still good for here. Definitely got this rough one. Oh, man. How good is that Bleak spot? Makes me want to go check, but I guess I won't. We're 1 white bream short, too. That bigger roach spot rolled off, by the way, but we still have this one. This is 10 silver. It's not bad. I don't think we got enough anything else. Okay. So. Wow, another Bleak trophy. 6 for this rough. Holy cow. Yeah, so the bigger roach, they do add up. I mean, you've definitely got to fish high quantity of roach to get silver, but sometimes the bite rate is good enough that it can sustain it. Either way, 64 more silver, even with what we purchased today, which I meant to do this, and I totally forgot to do some of these just to like, while we were waiting on bites, and I forgot about it. We need to get to, is it 30 or 35%? I think it's 30. Just every time we're at, especially bottom fishing, we've got to remember to make these, you know, in 5 or 6 chunks at a time. I mean, every 5 should be close to 1%, unless we get really unlucky. So I'll just grind out a couple here. Once we get to 30%, I think we can start doing, it's like we're just getting ourselves more and more set up for bream. And it might be worth, even on Mosquito or Winding, hitting some of these bream spots as they pop up. Even before we have cottage cheese dough, we'll just have to test different baits. All right, what are we at here? 28%. All right, that's a good place to stop. We still have 26 portions left, so we've got plenty. I think we'll make it to 30% easily on that. And we are stopping at 176 silver, which is good. We can make a little bit of pea porridge. We'll need to make some more of that. Definitely worth having pea porridge. And then we need to make some cottage cheese dough. And then we've really done a really good job. I mean, at that point, you can chill. And we can talk more about what's next on bait harvesting after you unlock egg dough and fish pieces. But you can kind of chill at that point, which is nice. Okay. Very good. Now we just, I mean, the only thing that would make this better, and I have done leveling series before when flies have been available, when flies have been affordable, and it's just so, I mean, it's just so nice. Because you can not only catch lots of bleak, but catch trophy bleak or bigger on average bleak with fly. That is often the case at several different maps. So it's really unfortunate that at least right now stock issues are just crushing the ability to farm bleak on flies at least. Now at winding you can still do other baits. Here I don't think you could farm it as well as you could at winding. I think we have a little bit of time left on the fair, but we do need to think about if at some point in this series we're gonna go to Corey and even Belaya. Like we might want to get at least a couple of these. They're reasonably priced for how good they are. I feel the same way on the Pinwheel 1. Maybe not quite as strong as the Snowflakes, but close. These are good. These are good. So, I don't know, something to consider. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Tight lines, everybody.